everybody, it's Mrs. Dudley, and I am here with my friend Abby Strietmann. We're at the Clark Montessori School Garden, and we're practicing our proper separation, but we wanted to talk to you today from a new garden space, and we're going to take a little tour, and then we are going to talk about options for solo time in nature. One of your options for your lab tasks is always enjoy a solo time experience. Some of you might not be super familiar with that, or just might need a little bit of help on how you can have a good solo time in the garden. So we're really excited to talk to you today. Gardens don't take any time off. So Ms. Strietmann and I have definitely been visiting the schools, making sure that everything is growing well and ready for you guys when you come back. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Like Mary said, my name's Abby, and I teach here at Clark Montessori. This is my first full year as the agriculture teacher here. And yeah, just really loving it. We have an awesome space to work with, and my students and I are coming up with some new ideas and just testing lots of things to see what works and what doesn't. So far this year we've built some new garden beds and developed a compost system and put in a rain barrel. And yeah, right now we're in the process of a few projects that are kind of on pause, but I'm excited to get them started again.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to go for a tour and then we'll talk about solo. Stay tuned. All right, so we are here in the Clark Montessori High School garden, and for those of you that have not been here before, it is a really special place, and it's actually like up on a roof. So Ms. Strietmann's gonna tell us all about it.
Yeah, so actually we're standing on top of our cafeteria right now. So yeah, this is a green roof with plants that just have a shallow root depth, and they're helping us conserve water. My students built these benches over here out of pallets. We've got our composting bins. We're in the process of removing a bunch of invasive honeysuckle just to make more space, and hopefully we could put some more gardens back there, or at least some benches somewhere students and classes can come out and enjoy being outside.
Awesome. Do you want to take us over to the greenhouse?
Sure.
All right.
Gardens need a little love, but we'll get there.
Looking good. Abby, tell us a little bit about the ropes. Like, we're not doing that at my school, so.
Okay, so this is for something that's called square foot gardening. So each of the boxes in the grid is about a 1 foot by 1 foot area. And then based on what you're planting, you'll plant different numbers of the vegetable. So for example, you might put 16 carrots in one square, but you might only put 3 or 4 lettuce seed plants.
Cool, thank you.
We're not into that.
We just haven't gotten into it yet.
Ooh. Just kind of where we start some of our seeds in here and then just store.
Oh, that looks cool.
That is actually from Gorman Farm. Sorry, Nicole.
We've got all their plant food down here. A little different from our shed.
Okay.
Ooh, what are those white boxes?
Those are bee boxes. There used to be a bee club here. And we're following your example. We would love to start a bee club here again. Hopefully next year, or at least sometime in the future.
Awesome. Thank you, Abby. All right, Abby, so one of our big things in Montessori is solo time, and it's really important for everyone, but especially adolescents, to have a little time to themselves where, they can give their brains a little bit of a break, just kind of move beyond maybe some of the drama that we have constantly surrounding us and all of the bombardment of information that we have. I'm just learning about solo time because I'm fairly new in my training, but I've always really enjoyed spending time outside in nature, and so I just wanted to have a little bit of a conversation with you about your experiences in nature and how you, when you go out to do something that is calming for you, how do you set that up, and what are your strategies to do that?
Right. Well, I think first it definitely took a little practice to feel or to find what's best for me for solo. And for me, it is being outside, just because that's something that I am comfortable with, and something that I enjoy doing. It's just time, like you said, to step away from what's going on with everyone else and think about who you are and what you're taking from different situations, and just to process what's going on throughout the day, in a different space and independently. Like I said, I love coming out here for solo time. My students are working towards, some really enjoy it, some feel more comfortable inside the building, but it's just kind of taking time to know yourself and knowing what you need, and outside is great. But
how do your students do that? Like if I came out while your students were doing a solo time, like what would that look like? What would I see?
So we definitely we spread out, we find our personal space, kind of like now. And some people like to sketch, some people like to read, some people just like to be still for a minute. You can definitely, like, if you're a more fidgety person, people will like play with grass, play with sticks. It doesn't have to be one thing or another. It can look different ways for different people.
And so I like the idea of having, lots of different ways that people can experience it. I'm a fidgety person, so I can't just I can't just sit. But I would pick up a stick and look at it very closely, or maybe a particular flower, look at that, really take some time to kind of look at everything about it, use all of my senses to experience that object. But there are some ground rules, right? So for me personally, it's usually no screens, so you're not fidgeting on your phone. Solo means solo.
Exactly.
You're not kind of doing hand gestures to someone across the way. You're just concerned with yourself, and you're not distracting others from their time. What's something else that you kind of set up?
Yeah, those are definitely the big ground rules. Just kind of what you put into it is what you personally are going to walk away from it. So it's time that teachers are giving you in your day to create a better world for yourself. But if you're not trying and putting your own take on it or thinking about it in a way that it's going to benefit you, you're not going to get anything out of it for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, it's like exercise, right? I've used this example before of I bought the gym membership, but if I don't actually go, then nothing's going to happen there. You have to put the work in.
Yeah.
How long do you spend in solo?
I think usually 15 to 30 minutes. Less than 15 minutes feels too rushed, I think. But then over 30 minutes, I think maybe with practice you can build up and go over 30 minutes, but 30 minutes usually feels about right.
Anything else?
No, it's hard. I think especially when, my mind is always running and thinking about things that I should be doing next, or maybe things I should grade or assignments I should be building, or thinking about your friends and what you want to say to them or how you want to help them. So it takes discipline and it takes effort to focus on yourself for a minute and think about what's really going on inside. And it's not something that if you do it once, you're going to be really good at it. But like anything, it takes practice. But once you take the time, it's worth it.
Nice. I like that because, sometimes I beat myself up if, my mind started going to work things or, I found myself just not being able to kind of give my brain the break that it needs. And so it's good to have someone else say that, like, it's not easy, and some days are going to be easier than others.
Right.
But the practice and the carving out of the time is what's important.
Right.
Thank you.
Sure.